Tell us how you're feeling going into the fortnight.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I feel great. Obviously coming into Wimbledon is always an honor. It's always a privilege. It's a tournament that was always a dream tournament for me when I was a kid. So even though I have had plenty of success here in my career and played this tournament so many times, I still feel like that, young Novak coming to the tournament and really being able to live his dream. So it's an amazing tournament, the biggest one in my eyes. So of course, I'm super excited to start off 2023 Wimbledon.
I know that winning most of your Grand Slam titles, you've had to beat the same sort of people over years and years and years. I wonder, especially now you're at the age you are, how invigorating is it when someone like Carlos comes along? How much sort of extra zip does that give you, a new challenge? And how much of the 20-year-old Novak Djokovic do you see in him?
Well, there's always someone, out there. So there always has been and always will be. And Carlos is a very nice guy who is carrying himself very maturely for a 20-year-old. Already has plenty of accolades to his name, making history of the game so young. I think he's great for the game as a player who brings a lot of intensity, energy on the court, and also being very humble and having a nice personality off the court. And I think, for someone his age, it's impressive, everything he's doing. And with his team, of course, he's got Juan Carlos Ferrero, former #1 in the world, in his corner, who can guide him and mentor him. And they've been functioning very well as a team. For me, I don't need to have Carlos or anybody else really to find that extra drive and motivation when I enter slams, because I know that I'll have to win 7 matches to win a title. So whoever I get to face across the net is, it doesn't make a difference for me. I need to do what I need to do, and most of my attention is focused on my body and my mind and my game, and trying to, I guess, bring it to the optimal state where I'm performing my best every match.
Just wondered, generally, do you feel more relaxed in life now you have number 23, and also how do you ensure you don't lose any motivation like what happened after the 2016 French Open?
I don't feel more relaxed, to be honest. I still feel hungry for success, for more Grand Slams, for more achievements in tennis. And as long as there's that drive, I know that I'm able to compete at the highest level. If that goes down, then I guess I'll have to face probably different circumstances and have a different approach. But so far, there's still the drive. A few days after Roland Garros, I was already thinking, about preparation for grass and what needs to be done. And the tennis season is such that it doesn't really give you much time to really reflect or enjoy. Of course, I did enjoy with my family, but not for so long, even though, of course, a lot of people are coming up to me and congratulating me and reminding me of the historic success, which is nice, of course, and it's very flattering. But at the same time, my mind was already and is already directed towards Wimbledon. What's the next slam and what's the next task? And that's the life of the professional tennis player. And I think that kind of mentality is necessary for, maintenance of that intensity. If you really want to have a chance and have a go at more slam titles, you need to maintain that concentration and devotion. So yeah, that's where I am. Of course, part of me is very, very proud and very thrilled to be able to be in this position, and have 23 slams. But I want to try to use every Grand Slam opportunity I have at this stage where I'm feeling good in my body and feeling motivated and playing well, very good tennis, try to get more.
Novak, you've always said that winning Roland Garros was a Mount Everest for you. But I wonder whether grass, and Wimbledon in particular, has been the tournament or the surface that has best showcased your development as a tennis player.
It's a good point. I think you're right. I haven't played much in my childhood days on grass. Actually, I've never, played on the grass court before I was 17. So, but I always dreamt of winning Wimbledon. That was always a goal. And when I started playing on grass, and for the first few years, I actually thought I was doing pretty well. I got to top 100 in the world first time here in Wimbledon, qualified, played some tough 5-setters in the opening rounds and reached the fourth round as a teenager and managed to get to top 100. And so this tournament has a lot of significance, I think, also statistically for me in my career. And then for several years, I did struggle, I think, to really take my game on the grass courts to a next level. Because naturally for me, it feels better to slide, and grass is really not forgiving surface when it comes to sliding, extreme sliding motions on the court. So I had to learn how to move, how to walk, how to play, how to read the bounces and etc. Because grass court is the rarest surface we have in sport, which is contrary to what you had maybe 40, 50, 60 years ago, where you played at 3 out of 4 slams were played on grass. So nowadays that's not the case. So it does take time, more than any other surface, to really to get used to it. But I think in the probably last 10 years of my career, I've adapted very quickly to the surface, and I think that the results here are a testament to that. But also the fact that I have not played a lead-up tournament to Wimbledon many times. I actually played, I think, maybe Queens, 18, and Eastbourne 17, and that's it. Before that or after that, I haven't really played any week on grass before Wimbledon. So that's kind of tricky, because you really want to have a couple of matches. And I normally play or Stoke Park or Hurlingham at least 1 or 2 matches, try to get that feeling of match play. But I don't know. When I enter the center court, it just I guess it just awakens something in me, and I'm able to perform at a very high level.
Hi, Novak. After what we saw in the world of golf with Saudi Arabia, now there's exploration on the part of the ATP and the WTA about doing business in Saudi Arabia, a country with a lot of money, also a country with a lot of questions about its human rights record, its record on women's rights and LGBT